What's up, guys? It's Joe at National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into the phenomenal night we had tonight. And no, that's not sarcasm. I understand we went 20% in the NBA. We only got the Heat, and we lost the rest of the schedule. So you might be wondering, well, how was it phenomenal? It was phenomenal because of the reason I constantly tell people. It was phenomenal because college basketball has by far been the best metric for us all season. We've pummeled Vegas with just college. Honestly, I'm at a point where just so people see it, I want to just start putting out only college basketball because we went 100% tonight, 4-0. I thought Kansas State covered. You see, I put that as an L, but Kansas did cover. And just to show you guys, the reason I do this the way I do and I set up the playlist the way I did and everything to that extent is because I want people to be able to see everything in live time beforehand, and that's what I do with all these picks. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's a little upsetting, and it's not to me. Trust me, I love it. I could put out NFL, and you guys will, obviously watch it happily. But it's a little upsetting because there's so many people telling me, I had a bad night. But you can see this last video, only 130 people watched it, which is fine. But that's only 130 people that profited. And just going down the list, you can see NBA. I get it. It's, you see NBA, it's not as appealing. It's not as fun. And you see college, and you really don't want to watch it. 57 since that's the third video. And again, it's not, to me, it doesn't matter. I cover every sport. College basketball is coming to an end pretty soon. The NBA is going to be the main talking point, and then obviously the NFL offseason. My point is I do this because I genuinely see people that are trying to follow the system, and I'm trying to tell people that it's not that hard, especially when we use college basketball for our leg 2 and leg 3s. Now, instead of, you might ask on here when I put out, I thought it was Kansas that covered. Why didn't you just edit it and just fix it? That's another thing. I've made such a methodical playlist. That's another reason sometimes, I do everything I can to get these plays out, the college ones specifically, ahead of time so people can see how high of a metric it is. So if I were to fix this, right, if I were to fix this here, it would say edited. And then people might have questions. So that's the reason I went ahead and I've always done that in the past. I don't ever change because even though you guys know me, I like to be the most transparent person I can. So I could have fixed it, but then you're going to see edited. And if you go through any of these, you'll never see edited. That's another thing. This is what I mean. I've gone out of my way so much just so people could have complete proof that, most people that are profiting, they decided to tail the system. They see that it works. And then, after watching X amount on the playlist, and then they start putting some actual money or they start putting some more money on the games, which is good. Because right now we're up 60, I think it's 67 units. And that's what I want to get into. How, again, on a 5-4 day, how could we finish so good? Well, look at the ones that hit for us. Kansas hit for us. That's a leg 2. We got Loyola as a leg 3. We missed, all of our misses were leg 1s, and the only NBA that I trusted enough to play as a leg 2, we won. Now, is it a coincidence that the only one of the 5 that I really had conviction in won? You might call it a coincidence. It's literally a 20% chance, but I picked it for a reason, and I picked these college ones for a reason. And we've had so many college leg 3s, Norfolk covers NC Central, college leg 2s that have come through for us. At this point, I think it's ridiculous. Mary McFarley Dickinson, that's someone that's seen even a couple videos. Nebraska, Maryland, you see they don't all hit, but for the most part, we are hitting at a ridiculous rate when it comes to college hit, and the good news is we have a big college schedule coming up tomorrow. So, yeah, we finished really good today. Again, the NBA wasn't great to us, but luckily, once again, college came through and bailed us out. And the narratives, I thought for the Lakers, for sure, I thought they were going to have them look bad. Obviously, that didn't happen. And the Pelicans, I'll give you this is something I just noticed, and it might not mean much, but if you're somebody who does props, I would 100% parlay Joker triple-double with a Nuggets win 100% of the time. That might sound obvious, But you'd be surprised. Now, James got it done tonight, but Luke is a great example. You'd be surprised how many times it's usually when a player gets a triple-double or goes off for like 60 points, it's usually in a losing fashion. So I think I have yet to see them lose a game where he's got a triple-double. So if you're one of those people, it's just a little tiny thing I noticed. Nothing huge, but just a tiny thing. Lakers win. Again, all these were like ones. So I'm not saying that makes it fun or anything. But there's a reason. I just didn't love any of them. The Bucks are one that, again, let's see how Grayson Allen did, because I went over him in my last video. He always plays like complete trash when I pick him to win. And then he plays like the best player ever when I have him losing. So Grayson Allen got 12 points. Oh, he didn't even do as bad as normally when I pick them to win, or to cover, I should say. But yeah, so on a night where we finished 20% in the NBA, we were able to finish 100% in college. And because of college and college only, we would finish the day up several units. And that's what I just try and go into with people is, I know it's not the most fun, but you don't have to watch the games. I don't. You just play them. Someone said the other day, I said, why aren't you following the college? Well, they're not. I don't watch college. You don't need to. I don't. If I can hit at such a clip on college, and I'll go back and check, but I am probably around 70% at this point without watching a single game. Then I think it stands to reason that the metrics are more important than anything else. The narratives are important, yes. The dramatic is there, but I think that's of the least importance, just because it's the most work to find out the least information. Whereas the metrics, they just hold true. I tried showing people the team rankings, of the historical trend of teams that in college, they just don't finish above like 80% against the spread or below 20%. If you go back and check, and this holds true to almost every sport, but with college, we still have handfuls of teams that are under 20% or over 80% against a particular spread. In this game, Kansas State was like in the high 70s. That's why we faded them. In the Toledo game, they were around 70% something on the over. So that's why we faded. That's why we took the under. Loyola, same thing. They were, I think, 12-point underdogs and abysmal on the spread. That's why we took them. So it's nothing crazy. It's nothing fancy. I meant it in my last video. It wasn't my last, but it was quite a few ago with Louisville. I said I now know two guys on a team, Mike James and L. Ellis, because I picked Louisville enough times that I was able to learn those two players. I know nothing about college basketball. If you trivia me on any sport of the ones I've covered, I would lose the quickest in college basketball. So I think that alone should show people how rigged it is, that I could pick a sport I know absolutely nothing about just on metrics and what I believe to be traps. And the ones that we know the most about, I do better with college basketball than wrestling. How's that possible from a lifelong wrestling fan? So, I just like to, cool, NFC Worlds. Are we back in a bull market? I hope so. But anyway, actually, I don't really care, because I think it's just like my system. I tell people all the time with crypto and that, it's such a long-term game. But once mass appeal happens and mass adoption, just watch. But my point is, with these college games, they're fun. They're not the most fun. I know people want to watch like only the fun games, and maybe around playoff season, more people would be inclined to play these metrics. But the problem is, very quickly, these metrics are disappearing. We now, like I said, have a handful or two handfuls of teams that fit the metrics I like. We had 30, 40 teams. So just like college football, by 2-3 weeks to the end, it was basically done with. This one, it's a good time to get in on the college metric before there's nobody left that fits those norms, the historical norms. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the historical norms, I go over it in almost every video. And I also, again, if you go to teamrankings.com, just look at the history of teams against the spread. Now, another thing I've been going into, and again, to me, I am indifferent to what people enjoy. I understand some things, are going to be more appealing than others. But Pat McAfee, I literally just made a new playlist just to go into him, only because I think it's of the utmost important. I know they're longer videos. It's because he is telling a very ridiculous side of a story and trying to convince us. The first video is only 3 minutes. I literally just put together me saying what I thought he would say, And then he went ahead and said exactly that in the next day he said all that stuff. And the next two is the same thing. It's all the excuses he's making for the league. And that's why I made the playlist, so people can actually see, I'm not just saying this after the fact. Like, it's literal things that I know a talking head of the league is going to say. And there's one more, the Gene Steratore one. I'm going to cover that too because, like I said, I like to, on my old channel, I got ripped. I went into Mr. Beast. If I see stuff that I know is bullshit, especially, and people like the Beast videos, so I might re-upload them if I can find them. But with Pat McAfee right now, he's the guy that a lot of people are trusting. They think he genuinely bets on these games and genuinely cares, and he played and never saw such things. But again, he forgot Larry Johnson ever existed. He forgot Dwight Smith ever existed. He forgot the 2001 Raiders or 2002 Raiders ever existed. All these players that have come out to different extents and said it's rigged, and he's just ignoring them in the videos I go over. He's explaining how money, you'd have to pay these guys off, like guaranteed bonuses. So I just think it's ridiculous that event, but it is good to see people are waking up to it. They got destroyed on Twitter, and rightfully so. And more importantly, we're going to, of course, this is always going to come first. That's why this was the first video I put out today. We're going to keep earning. I can say tomorrow there are no less than 8 games of college games that fit that. I saw a bunch for 12-1. So there's going to be a probably between 7 and 11 games for college, many leg 2 and 3s. And as you guys have seen, if you've watched all my college videos, those are the ones. That's the reason we're up 65. I think it's 64, something like that, units. I'll check. It was 63. We gained 1 yesterday. And today we gained a few more. It might even be closer to 68, 69, to be honest. But like I said, the most important thing is closing the leg 2s out. And as you can see, just from 2 days, just say we were to lose a leg 3 tomorrow, we've already negated that. So a leg 3 is when you do 4 units. That's the third bet in. And we've been destroying that all year because we only need 7 wins for every leg 3 loss. So I'll have I'm going to do the Gene Steratore video because I haven't watched that yet, and I know him and Pat are going to do a great job of like a good cop, bad cop type deal. And then I'm going to go, obviously, I'll make sure that, more importantly, we have all of our college picks out for tomorrow, as well as any NBA picks that I like. And I'm really assessing the Chiefs-Eagles. Don't think my original assessment. We're going to be looking at this because I think they might be changing the script on the spot. And there's something very interesting Pat McAfee said that did not make me love the Chiefs as much. I'll go into that. And at this point, who knows what they're trying to do? But just the wording of it made me think, if what they're trying to do is if they're trying to do what I think they're trying to do, it made me second guess the Chiefs. That's all I can say without going into a tangent. But yeah, we had a good night, and I think we kill it tomorrow because tomorrow's 90% college. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.